Laser tag employees of Reddit, what was the weirdest things you've seen happen in the arena? Went in with a group of old army buddies, 2 were qualified sharpshooters, and got absolutely wrecked by a team of 10 to 12-year-olds. Little bastards were so fast. Worked at a small family-run laser tag for about 3 years. I saw so much weird stuff over the years, and with 3 floors in pretty much total darkness, only lighting was of lights, I knew I was pretty much bound to find weird stuff going on. The worst thing I happened to find was a group of friends, about 7 or 8 people, came in to play a few games. Fast forward to their second game, and as the game is going on, I walk around the corner to a couple, with her hands down his pants and his hand down her pants, fully going at it. Obviously I had to ask them to leave, although I did want to know what made them even want to do that when there were kids around too. The most SFW weird thing I saw was probably 3 or 4 dads had unenthusiastically joined the game and found them in a large open space on the ground floor trying to beat each other doing handstands. I later found out they were dads of kid gymnasts. I wasn't an employee, but I was playing laser tag against a group of random kids, and while in the match I saw a kid who took off his laser vest and all his clothes down to his undies, and was running around shooting at people with his laser gun, with the vest dragging by the cord behind him on the floor. Wasn't sure how to react, but he got me with his gun as I wasn't prepared for that. One day, a birthday party comes in. Everything went normal until the match ended and everyone had to come back. They all made it back and had cake, except for 2 little dildos who thought it would be hilarious to camp in one of the corners. Everyone noticed they were gone and panicked. 2 other employees went looking for them in the arena, and found them. What was strangest is they decided to make a shit and piss hole if they were gonna be camping there. That was no fun to clean. TL. Doctor, couple kids took a shit, and I had to clean it. Former arcade employee, worked there for a year. We had birthday kid vomited, didn't tell employees. Had the next group come in, and the girl slipped and fell face first into it. Kids who screamed Fortnite. Then proceeded to fall down when they got shot, crawling around and begging to be revived. I told one he could just get up as the vest's power back on. He just looked at me and said he was playing Fortnite. A kid came out, calm as shit, nose obviously broken, and blood pouring everywhere. Said a kid had hit him with a gun. Filed an incident report. Never heard from the kid again. A Hispanic family came in. A lady fainted and the family started screaming at me to get them some alcohol so she would wake up. I did a lot of wingwoman work there. Oftentimes girls or guys would ask me to put them on the same team as someone they liked, and it was cute seeing the results. Many years ago, because I assume watching kids hunt down and shoot their classmates is now less of an appropriate birthday activity than it once was, we did periodic lock-ins where people could pay a flat fee and run though as many games as they wanted to keep it fresh and keep people from just camping the corners. We ran different game modes interspaced with regular games plus served pizza and had the arcade. Most people would run a few games and take a break during one of the normal tagged games to get some food or chat. A group of 3 teenage boys had run every single game for 3 hours and were just behaving oddly. Their scores were low. They didn't seem to care which team they were on. I followed them, they saw me, and played normally if half-heartedly. I waited another 2 games and then sent in some regulars as better spies. About 2 minutes and the lights come up because someone popped the emergency door. The kids had 4 reasons known only to stupid teenagers removed a chain link gate that kept people out of the fog machine area and had been adding weed to the machine, apparently convinced they were going to make everyone high. Don't know if it's weird, but someone got drunk, climbed onto one of the set pieces and rode it like a horse, grabbing onto the fire sprinkler head above for support, and then proceeded to rip it out of the ceiling, causing the whole arena to flood into the cell phone store below. Thousands of dollars of damage. We followed that up by implementing a strict zero tolerance policy on alcohol. Also, the guys we hired to paint the arena walls all space themed hid penises all over the place. It was very dark in there, so easy to miss them. Took a while before we found them all. I never saw anything super strange. Did see a couple surprising injuries though. The arena is dark and lit by black lights, so of course for liability purposes we do the whole rule reading before each round, and one of the rules is obviously no running. Kids would inevitably break the rule and end up running into something, but usually not at a speed that could do any more than some bumps or bruises. One little girl managed to sprint full tilt into a wall and break her nose. That was quite the event. Real bloody, real traumatizing for the other kids. Our arena also had some obstacles, like boxes and barrels and shit. Some of them were loose and could be adjusted between rounds, but were still quite heavy to avoid accidental movement. Other stuff was nailed down, so it couldn't go anywhere. This one time a group of boys around 11 to 13 ripped some barrels out of the ground so that they could build their own custom fort, but didn't notice the nails protruding from the barrels. Another kid ran by, ran their hand along the barrel as they ran, and sliced their forearm wide open on one of the nails. Thankfully I didn't actually see the aftermath, but that was also quite the gossip, especially because the victim's parents tried to blame us at first. That threat and lawsuit fell apart pretty quickly when the actual story came out. Sex. Condoms. Tampons, used and unused. Poop. All of these things can be found in laser tag arenas. The weirdest thing I've seen happen was when I was working in the arena and a kid shit in the middle of the game. Some poor soul came running through and slipped in it. That was fun. Second weirdest was finding shitty underwear in the bathroom. It looked like the scene from Dumb and Dumberer. Third weirdest was the car fire in the parking lot, where I had to pull a kid from a car seat. Those places are black holes of normalcy. Everything is weird there. Not a laser tag employee, but had a weird experience at one of my own birthday parties. I may have been 10 at the time, and we were about to go in, when an employee stops us, says they accidentally double booked, and would we mind playing with another group. More's the merrier, I thought. Then the other party comes in, and takes of their UK Territorial Army uniforms to gear up. So there we are, a bunch of children playing laser tag with a bunch of actual soldiers. I would love to say my good score was a result of being a decent shot, but in reality I was a 10-year-old and managed to get a crawl space in which nobody could see me in the dark. I also imagine that they were going easy on me as I was the birthday boy XD. One time a 7-year-old kid came in with his mom for his birthday party all excited. They brought party favors and all kinds of stuff. Time went by and no one had showed up, and he got a little sadder every minute. After about 30 minutes, no one had come at all and they left. It's been 25 years, and I still don't have birthday parties anymore. Not an employee, but a player. Back when I was early 20s, me and a few guys went laser tag. Since there was only a couple of us, we got paired with a group of kids, and some of their parents. During the match, one of the fathers had looped his arm through his daughter's vest and was using her as a shield, and she was just getting carried around like a little shooting shield. Still makes me laugh. Not poop or sex. When I was young my family went to play a laser tag. This was in New Orleans. Mostly kids were playing that day, but there was also an older guy, maybe 25. This older guy was competitive. He wanted to win bad. Here I am, probably 13 years old, running around like James Bond from N64 GoldenEye, using the structures to cover myself. I round a corner looking for prey, and what do I find? The older guy, coming at me full speed backwards, bent over, with his gun between his legs. Ass first. His strategy was simple yet effective. If he shoots between his legs, no one can shoot his chest or back. He was an unbeatable ass gunner. Worst game ever. Not a laser tag arena, and maybe not the weirdest, but there is this Nerf dart arena kind of close to me, and I used to go there often. For the longest time they only had 3 kinds of darts: the regular orange/yellow/blue darts, the green discs, and the red mega darts to use. But Nerf introduced the yellow ball darts. They're basically a small yellow foam golf ball, and they were a game changer. Now these things could be fired accurately all the way across the arena, and most guns can hold 40 of them in a clip, so they were used a lot for ammunition. But they have another use, one that was found quickly. If you stepped on one and weren't paying attention, it could easily make you fall on your butt. So we would throw them into the middle of the arena where people were running the fastest and make the person fall on their face. This was mainly used in Capture the Flag, but it works in all the other game modes too. TL. Doctor, little yellow foam balls made an Nerf arena into a deadly game of Twister. 2 kids were playing in the arena. Every few seconds you would hear a shot. Then for a minute straight nothing. 2 minutes, nothing. Then it resumes. Next game. Someone found a turd in the arena. One of the managers screwed one of the employees back there when we were closing. Lots of people run and get clocked in the head with a laser tag gun. Only a few bleed. Some days we didn't care too much and just stood by the door playing on our cell phone the entire shift. In the wintertime, the empty business space in the strip mall next to us had a pipe burst. It flooded into laser tag and we had to shut down. I was frequently grabbed and used as a human shield. Saw a huge pile of vomit and laser tag and decided it wasn't my job as I was getting off in 15 minutes. 2 minutes before I got off, someone else found it. Still had to clean it. This thing looked like someone ate a large pizza and threw it up. This post is made for me. I worked at a laser tag place about a year and I've seen some funny and weird shit. Guy wanted a head start, so he ran in there and wouldn't respond to my calls for him to get out and wait, had to search for home for 20 minutes. Kids beat another kid with a gun. That one was hard to explain to the parents. And a angry land whale of pure Karen was watching from the observation room when her kid punched another kid. So she proceeded to run out of the arena and scream at the child, who was on the ground crying after getting punched. I got banned from our local laser tag, and I'm a grown-ass adult. I was cornered by a young girl who was 15, and she wouldn't move out of my way. She just kept shooting me point blank in the chest for like 5 minutes and wouldn't stop. I kept saying, "Okay, you got me, now please move," and she would just laugh and shoot me again. Finally I got pissed enough and said I didn't pay to get in here, to stand in the corner this whole game, and pushed her aside and walked off. She started screaming at the top of her lungs, "Jason, Jason," and suddenly all the lights came on and the game stopped. Jason comes running in. Apparently he's the 18-year-old manager and a friend of this girl. She tells him, "This lady just hit me, I want her arrested," and Jason proceeds to call the police. I told the cops what really happened, and they got the girl to agree not to press charges as long as I was banned. Fucking little brat. Bit late, but one time a family of 4, mum, dad and 2 boys age 6 I think, were playing when all of a sudden I hear a scream. I run to where I heard it to be met with the 2 kids of the family covered in their own sh*t and another kid around 10 or 11 screaming his ass off in terror as the 2 kids try to share their poop with him. I quickly called over the parents, who ended up having to drag their shit covered kids out of the room, leaving the place being shut down for a week and 3 sets of equipment worth £240 being thrown out. Oh god. The list is endless. Source: worked at a Euro equivalent for 2 years during college. Multiple couples having sex in the arena, especially under the stairs. People knocking themselves out in various places, even though running was not allowed. A gang tried to steal 20 setups for the game by signing up and bolting during the safety talk. They were eventually caught when they realized they didn't have the computer system to run the games, and called the suppliers of them game and asking them how to run it. Stealing props from the arena, taking dumps and urinating in the corners. Lots of kids throwing up with excitement and exertion. Staff would stay on at night and throw parties in the arena. Lots of weed, beer and sex. The birthday kid was having a party and was a real price of work at 14 and still running around, kicking and punching anything is his way. They rocked up an hour and a half late from their booking time, expecting to start at the same time as another party. All the mother, who is a tier 1 Karen, could say is not her fault and deal with it after sparking to the manager, me. So anyway, we managed to get them in and run the party, brief them all as normal, and send them in. Not 30 seconds later I get an alert on the system that one of the packs is being handled too roughly. The kid comes out and it's the birthday kid claiming that the pack does work and wants a new one. I explain what has happened, reset the pack, and send him in. Almost straight away he's back out and in a fit with the same alert on the system. It's the policy that anyone who has come out twice with the system warning that they are to sit the rest for the game out. The kid wasn't having any of this and threw a tantrum all the way back to his mum. She comes back fuming, spitting out, "Why have you disqualified my son from his own party? And who gave you permission to do this?" I explain what the system alerts are, but get discounted by the mother as an error, insisting that her child would never hurt a fly. So we decide to send the kid back in with a new pack, and not minimum latter, a loud whack, a pack of flying and the same kid coming out with the gun in 2 pieces. Mother sees this, and questioning why I sent him in with a broken pack. Pull up the security footage and clearly shows the kid smashing the gun against the wall. At this point, I call up the boss to come down, told him what happened. He pulls out the parts list and quotes the mother what is owed for the damages. Out of rage, she storms out of the venue with her kid, leaving the entire party behind, and threatening to sue us. Never got the letter from an attorney and the party wasn't paid for. Airsoft Warden here. Big arena, indoor paintball style area with an outdoor woodland battleground. Hands down the weirdest thing I've ever witnessed during a live match was 3 dudes in a massive trench coat walking around comically pretending to be one person. They did this in a joking attempt to skirt our rule preventing standing on someone's shoulders to peek over objects. I accidentally spooked them when I went to confront them, and they all fell over in a pile. That's the exact reason we don't allow shoulder standing. The weirdest tactic I've ever seen during a pro match was a dude who put a plexiglass riot shield down on a cornered stair landing, and later on used it to accurately ricochet rounds onto enemies in the room at the bottom of the stairs. It was allowed for the round, but intentional ricochets were promptly banned. My cousin got permanently banned from a laser tag arena when we were growing up for Spartan kicking a kid. I think he was like 13, and I was 12, and we went in against a huge group of 8-year-olds. The little bastard's strategy was to get 4 of them and just stand right around you like 4 inches from your body and just repeatedly shoot you, and there was nothing you could do about it. He got tired of it and just pushed all of them away from him and started to walk out. They thought it was funny and ran to chase and surround him again. And he just turned around and kicked one of them right in the vest and the kid flew back at least a good 5 feet and smacked into a giant foam translucent traffic cone. My cousin was 6 feet 2 at 13, so he's lucky he didn't hurt the kid. I don't condone what we did, but at 12 years old it was the funniest shit I had ever seen.